Right, lads, you'll expect from you both, you obey the instructions at all times. When I tell you to break, you both break clean. Defend yourselves at all times, and the best luck to you both. Touch gloves, touch them up.
For the second fight, for local man Connor Tudsbury against his former amateur opponent, Robbie Connor, in the light heavyweight division here at the Planet Ice Arena in Altrincham.
Second round, round one.
Been with Nigel Travis at the Moss Side Fire Station gym. And his coach, mentor, has been impressed with him. Says there's a lot to like about the young man. Great shape, as always. He has that amateur pedigree, over 100 amateur fights. I remember speaking to Dave Allen. Dave Allen, who's obviously gym mates with Connor Tudsbury, rates him. Very good fighter, great lad. Been impressive, hasn't he? Certainly that debut, but what he's done in the amateurs, Sonny, remarkable.
Yeah, he's been around the circuit for a few years now. Oh, gets caught of a jab there, but before that he started very nice, very sharp. Been landing a couple of jabs to the body. But yeah, very highly touted, had a good amateur background. But Robbie Connor, seen him fight Liam Cameron, was ringside for that fight, and look what Liam Cameron's gone on to do. That looks like a great performance now.
Yes, it was the first fight back after that long hiatus from Liam Cameron. He just got the nod by a single point, did Cameron. He's a decent amateur. He lost to Aaron Bowen in the semi-finals of the GB Tri-Nations. So as I say, the pedigree's there. They fought. So again, I mentioned, see, just being forced back from the pressure of Connor Tudsbury. He really does look physically strong, doesn't he?
Yeah, and really, when we think about it, it's quite a rare occurrence this early on in a six-rounder. Fighters, you know, that fought as an amateur, almost rematching in a six-rounder. But look, Connor Tudsbury's the prospect coming through. Robbie Connor's career has, you know, maybe slightly taken another route, but look, he's lost over half his fights, but he hasn't been stopped. He's very tough. He's pushed some good fighters very, very far in fights that it was perceived to be, you know, much more one-sided than they ended up being. So Tudsbury's going to have to be on it, I think, for this six-rounder.
Just look at it ringside. I can see Dave Allen, Jack Cattrall, manager Sam Jones, Tony Bellew, Eddie Hearn. Speaking to Nigel Travis, he said he's been sparring with Callum Smith before his brilliant win against Joshua Boatsi. Also Bradley Ray, who was supposed to be on the card. It's really good sparring in camp. Oh, just looking for that right hand over the top. Connor, nice little step back, just missed with the right hand though. He's shown he's awkward, knows how to ride the shots, move out of range. So maybe a bit of patience required tonight.
Seconds, corners. Seconds out. Round two.
Into the second round we go. Six-rounder in the light heavyweight division between Connor Tudsbury and Robbie Connor.
Yeah, realised near the end of that first round that saying Connor anywhere just got confusing, Darren.
Nice jab from Tudsbury, just tripling up the shot, just forcing Connor back, who does move well. He's slippery, he knows how to ride the shots, as we said. Just Again, moving a lot to his left, just looking for that right hand over the top, but patience certainly going to be the case here for Tudsbury. Doesn't need to rush anything.
Yeah, I think the frustrating thing right now for Connor Tudsbury is that, oh, that's better work though. It's just that Robbie Connor's doing quite a good job at smothering and negating a lot of the work. When he's trying to engage and land some shots, he's closing the gap down. He's trying to throw a punch, but he's letting his body fall in with it and, you know, sort of just disable any real chance of attacking that Connor Tudsbury has.
Yeah, he's doing the right thing. He's not staying at arm's length, is he? Like you say, when he gets close, he just ties up Tudsbury, and when he gets the opportunity, he moves sharply out of range. Looking for a nice, landed a nice right to the body there, straight right.
It was like he landed a nice right hand to the body, but wobbled himself with how his feet reacted. But that was a nice shot. Another left hook, but gets caught with a jab for his troubles.
Yeah, just looking to disguise that left hook. Just look down and through the left hook upstairs. Yeah, a bit of variation with the movement, both left and right, and then, as you say, just grabs hold and smothers the work of Tudsbury.
Because I think the problem really is when Connor Tudsbury's trying to get there, he's rushing with his feet, and when Robbie Connor then comes forward and closes the gap, he's almost too close to him to really land anything of significance. Oh, that's a better left hook, though.
Yeah, it was a nice shot. Short, sharp left hook inside.
And you can see the immediate response from Robbie Connor, opting to use the ring, take his shoulder out of way.
Looks big, Robbie Connor. Yeah, again, just showing the sharp feet. Just leading with that right hand, looking to finish with the left. Tudsbury, again, just trying to nullify the work. Referee just splitting the two up. Sure, it won't be long until he starts having a little word with Robbie Connor. Walks in with a double jab, Sonny.
But to be fair, Robbie Connor's having probably a little bit more success early on than he might have thought. And I think every time that the fight is getting smothered, you know, you've got a prospect who's trying to impress Connor Tudsbury, probably getting a little bit anxious, probably getting a little bit agitated from the smothering, the holding. Look, he's trying to break the clinch now, where this is how Robbie Connor wants the fight to go, really.
Yeah, a little messy here in this second round at Planet Ice Arena in Altrincham.
Robbie Connor there walked back to his corner, complaining about a right shoulder. I don't think his trainer did much of a convincing job of massaging it better, Darren, but still he comes out.
Round three.
Yeah, he's just giving himself two left hooks on that right shoulder. Obviously some sort of damage there. See if he lets that shot go. Just move into his left. Nice jab to the body from Connor Tudsbury.
And you can see the maybe physical differences and it favouring Connor Tudsbury as a two matching up. But right now I think Robbie Connor's doing a good job of just skating out of the way of most of the danger. I don't think he's, oh, that's a better shot. I don't think he's landing all too much, Robbie Connor, but he's making it quite difficult for Tudsbury to get anything of too much note.
And on the flip side, how do you nullify that? Is that a two-phase attack? Step in, bring your feet in?
Do you know what I think? About setting a trap, but when you do going with conviction. I think, again here, Tudsbury's allowing his opponent to get on his chest, and then he's still trying to work. He's not thinking, look, right now he's in a place where he's got his levers, he's got the target right in front of him, but he's almost telegraphing the jab that's coming forward. He's stepping in with it because he's starting a bit too far out of range. If he feints, maybe got his feet a little bit closer, and then threw him before he was either too far out or too close in, he'd probably be having a bit more success with the landing, I think. But it is hard saying that against someone that's doing a very good job at either being too close or, as you're coming, getting away.
Yeah, if you just see it there, just grabbing hold of that lead hand of Connor Tudsbury was Robbie Connor. Just nullifying the threat of those short hurtful shots that we've seen Tudsbury throw, just working the body with that right hook.
And I think the problem a lot of the time from Connor Tudsbury is that he's trying to sort of land the perfect shot from the first phase of the attack every time. That was a good shot.
That was a beautiful left hook from Connor Tudsbury. He took it well, Robbie Connor.
A little dip of the legs followed.
Yeah, he's just got that right hand a little low at times, hasn't he, Robbie Connor? And that was a beautiful, well-timed left hook.
And when he throws with his feet underneath him and he's not falling or trying to cut the ring down whilst throwing, they're nice shots again there. Maybe a little bit of tension at the shoulders, a little bit of weight at the hands, but keep your feet under you and keep the balance.
Well, we start to see a little bit more counter-punching. It was off the shots of Robbie Connor, that left hook.
A nice jab to the body.
Yeah, he's worked that well in the first 3 rounds, Connor Tudsbury. Again, he's fleet-footed, he's sharp, Robbie Connor, when he wants to be. Looking for his own left to the body there. Throwing the same shot at the same time. Looking again for that left hook upstairs, Tudsbury. Just grazing the target, Tudsbury with that left hook. Yeah, and he's playing his part, Robbie Connor. And as you said, there's a lot more easier fights out there for someone like Tudsbury. You know, as we said, he doesn't have your conventional sort of amateur style, does Robbie Connor, but he knows how to look after himself.
Yeah, and he's doing a good job of always staying busy as well. So he's always giving Connor Tudsbury something to adjust to or think about. Don't get me wrong, I have Connor Tudsbury here as a landslide shutout so far. There's not been too much coming back, but it's just more the work you can see him capable of doing. Robbie Connor's doing quite a good job at nullifying that right now. That was a good uppercut that landed, a slight dip of the legs, but look, the toughness again, like is a common theme tonight. He stands there, he's ready to throw back, but right now he's just doing a good job at starting in the right place. And when Connor Tudsbury really goes to launch an attack, he's just taking it away enough where even if he does get caught, he's taking the sting out of the punches.
Into the 4th round we go. And one thing's for sure, he'll be learning a lot in there, Connor Tudsbury. Gamesmanship there from Robbie Connor, as we see him just moving left and right. Poking out that jab. But back comes Tudsbury. Just looking for the 2 shots. Upstairs.
But I think Robbie Connor's done a real good job at staying relaxed throughout this, staying composed. You can just see that slight, you know, bit more relaxedness than what Connor Tudsbury has. But that's where, you know, the power, that's where the physicality is coming for it. But, you know, maybe if Connor Tudsbury did just take the tension out of his shoulders a bit, he'd be finding the target better and easier.
Missed out on the Paris Olympic Games. Tudsbury was gutted, but certainly a welcomed addition to the pro ranks here in the UK. It's a dream of his to be a professional fighter from where he grew up, to be on these kind of shows and the platform that is available for him, and such a great team buzzing in that gym. Jamie Moore, Nigel
That's
Travis.
better work.
Yeah, getting back to action there.
And he just opted to quicken up his hands there a little bit. He didn't look for too long, he got into range, and he let 2s and 3s goes, and he landed every single one of them.
Robbie Connor standing tall, but offering more. He's letting his hands go. Nice jab from the Scot. And again, as you've pointed out, as early as the 1st round, just leaning on, just stopping that work from Tudsbury. Smart when he's needed to be. Connor, good head movement there, Sonny, from Tudsbury.
Yeah, I think the problem right now is it's quite obvious when Connor Tudsbury wants to have a go and wants to fight. He gets a bit more aggressive, he jumps up, he comes forward, he's sort of letting you know that he's coming, and anytime he's seeing that, Robbie Connor's just, you know, tying him up, walking him back, getting too close to him or getting away from him, and I think he could just do a slightly better job at hiding what his intentions are, because you sort of know when he's looking to come big, when he's coming in with a jab.
Perhaps that second phase attack, but completely echo what you're saying there, Sonny.
But I do think
he's playing his part, Robbie Connor, that's for sure.
Definitely. I do think a lot of the parts of it for Conor Tudsbury is he's not really worrying about what's coming back, so he's not really reacting to what's coming back. He's just trying to get there and start working himself. But when he does, he's getting tied up.
Yeah, the team there with Tudsbury, Jamie Moore, Kerry Kays, Saban Khan, and of course Nigel Travis, who knows this man so well.
And a very experienced corner with a lot of success, you know, over the years, through their own careers as well. In very safe hands, you'd think there, Conor Tudsbury. Very familiar ones as well.
10 seconds, chorus. Seconds out. Round 5.
Well, into the 5th round we go to see Jamie Moore there signalling the right uppercut for Tudsbury. Will we see the local man get that shot into play? Robbie Connor starting the round on the front foot, changing the levels with his knees, but that's nice footwork from Tudsbury. We've applauded the footwork of Robbie Connor, but that was a nice pivot back to centre ring, Sonny, from Tudsbury.
Yeah, I think both fighters have started this 5th round quite nice, to be honest. Like you can see with the body movement of Robbie Connor and the way he goes about dropping his shoulders and slipping out, even for a man of his size, that he definitely has some amateur pedigree. But I think right now what you're just seeing is someone that's maybe a bit physically stronger and maybe a bit better just outworking and controlling the work.
He always looks like, sorry Sonny, that he's cocked and ready to throw a shot, Robbie Connor. That may have stopped Conor Tudsbury, just really mounting more attacks at the fear of maybe walking onto shot, but this is a good attack from Tudsbury. Lands a lovely right hand.
Very wild though. I'd like to see him get control of his feet a little bit more here though, is what I was talking about earlier in the fight.
Yeah, that was a beautiful right hand midway through that barrage of work from Conor Tudsbury. Desperate to get the job done there. Really put his foot on the gas, but credit to Robbie Connor.
But it's almost like he started the attack from his feet rather than his hands. His feet started moving and then his hands started catching up to the target. He's finding himself in a lot of good places, but I think when he starts putting the power behind it, his feet are just getting flustered at the moment. And being overly, probably maybe critical of a fighter that, you know, in his second fight has won pretty much every second of this fight so far. But you can see that he's physically a very, very, very capable fighter.
Yeah, there's an awful lot to like. This is another good attack. 3 shots to the body, 2 straight right hands, followed by the right bolo under that left elbow of Robbie Connor. Just pokes out the jab just to stop the work, the flow that has come his way from Conor Tudsbury in this 5th round. Just over 30 seconds to go. Is he starting to feel the pace in your eyes, Robbie Connor, Sonny?
Maybe the pace a little bit, but I do think that it might just be that the punch is slowly starting to break him down. And you can see that, you know, we're just over 3 minutes. That was a good shot. Like that.
Another one. Right hook. Beautiful shot from Conor Tudsbury. He looks to hold again. Robbie Connor, good work from the local man in his second outing as a professional. Conor Tudsbury. Yeah, had some real good moments in that 5th round. Conor Tudsbury landing some good hurtful hooks, listening to the instructions of Jamie Moore in the corner.
And you can really see when he does start revving and letting his hands go, that he's definitely a physical force to be reckoned with. You can see that. But right now, like I said before, he's just telegraphing it that little bit. You almost see the revving of the engine before he comes. And don't get me wrong, it made Robbie Connor not throw back. It made him just want to get out of the way or dive. But at the same time, it makes it harder to land the shots.
And here's one half of tonight's chief support. Cameron Vong in against Jordan Flynn. The bad blood is real. This is a real grudge match. Do not miss that one. Live on the zone from 7 p.m. As I say, the chief support. Pat Brown top of the bill. Into the final round we go here.
And I made that fight, so it's only right that I'm commentating on it, isn't it?
Good work, Sonny Edwards. Back to work for these two here. Light heavyweight division. Former amateur foes, Robbie Connor, Connor Tudsbury, they know each other. But this is good work. It was in the previous round from Tudsbury, and he started this 6th round, Sonny Edwards, lively.
Yeah, a bit more confidence, a bit more aggression, maybe a slightly easier target to hit and catch up to now. He had some good success as well in the 5th round.
Yeah, and he's played his part, hasn't he, Robbie Connor? He's nullified the work. He's stopped at times. Connor Tudsbury looking good. As we've said, the talent's there, the class is there, the pedigree certainly there. There's a lot to like, and I'm sure with other opponents that aren't as awkward as Robbie Connor, we will see the best of Connor Tudsbury, but lots and lots he would have learned here tonight against Robbie Connor.
You just get the feeling that if Robbie Connor was a bit more willing to, you know, make himself an easier target, we'd see some really big shots landing. But it's the
right uppercut.
And it's the quicker hands that are landing. When he's going solid and going big, he's missing. But when he's going quick and picking up his feet and picking up his hand speed, Robbie Connor's really struggling to keep up with him now.
Yeah, and he's up the tempo, more work from Tudsbury. I think he's feeling the tank of Robbie Connor really starting to empty.
And look how he's stealing a 5-10 second little break there. Poised up as if he was almost ready to throw his shot, but I think we all knew that he weren't coming in with that.
Yeah. And again, working that uppercut. There's two again unanswered. Right uppercuts, a little step out of range from Tudsbury. He's looking menacing on the front foot. The focus on his eyes. But again, as you say there, just stopping Tudsbury from coming forward. He looks like he's ready to throw the shot, and you can see the steam coming off of the head of Robbie Connor.
And he's making Connor Tudsbury work harder. You can see after that burst, he had to have a little shake out. He thought about going, and then he didn't. He had a little shake of his arms, and when you are built in the way that Connor Tudsbury is, when you do have clear muscle mass on your body, you generate more power, sure, but you use a lot more energy with everything you're doing. And I think, you know, okay, this has only been sort of one-way traffic for the most part, but it will definitely give him some things to think about in the future.
Yeah, last few seconds here in the final round of our final belt and before the bell. Final bout, sorry. Connor Tudsbury would have done enough there against a game, awkward opponent. Former amateur opponent Robbie Connor from Scotland, Bella Houston. He knew how to ride the shot, stay out of trouble, and we pointed out that there'll be easier tests, you would say, for Tudsbury as he climbed through the ranks. But good work.
Definitely easier to hit. I thought Robbie Connor did a tremendous job at just making himself out of the way and too close whenever Connor Tudsbury really tried catching up with him. That being said, I thought Tudsbury was finding some nice shots throughout the fight. His jab was really nice. I thought upstairs, downstairs. The uppercut, I think when he started letting it down on the last few rounds, was probably the shot that he had the most success with. But yeah, I think a very strong performance, albeit maybe a little bit frustrating and not the knockout that he probably would have wanted.
Yeah, but again, you have to give credit to Robbie Connor there. It was a tough matchup in only his second fight against a guy who's represented Scotland, fought in the GB Three Nations. And he's just looking at his arm there, pointing to his arm, Connor Tudsbury. Did he injure that left arm? But anyway, let's hand over to David Diamante for the verdict of this third and final fight on Before the Bell.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of action here in Altrincham, we go to referee John Latham's scorecard. It reads 60-54 for your winner. He's still undefeated, the Moss Side Mauler, Connor Tudsbury.
Yep, Connor Tudsbury moves to 2-0.